Hello Aries, let's jump into your week ahead forecast. So the chart that I have up for you is actually the Cazimi chart. We're going to have a look at this one. I did pull a bunch of charts for you and then I realized that I was going to be here for 6 months if I did that. So we're only going to have a look at the one chart and we're just going to talk about your week basically overall. I do also want to say this is for Aries Sun and Aries rising, as well as progressed Aries sun and progressed Aries rising, just to clarify. So make sure you listen for your sun and your rising, because I know a lot of people these days only listen to their risings, but yo, the sun is just as important. My god. So anyway, let's get into it, Aries. You have got an awful lot of energy between your first house and your third house, as well as a bit going on in your 12th. So this week, like all these other weeks building up into this week, you are dealing with yourself and how you're connecting and communicating in your local environment with the people around you. The fact that this this Sun and Venus Cazimi is happening in your third house, that's the house of Gemini. So, you know, the Sun and Venus are at home in your chart because Aries, you know, you have Gemini on the third. You guys are the most, I don't know, you and Libra are pretty lucky. Libra's like the opposite, so it's like, it's a bit of a weird energy, but with you, Aries, you kind of like have your shit sort of like mapped out a little bit better than everyone else, just purely because, you know, you have Gemini on the third, you have Cancer on the fourth, all that sort of stuff. So you actually having this Cazimi happening in Gemini in your third house really is giving you like a double dose of Gemini. You're having a double dose of curiosity and expansion, and your mind, I feel like, is really going to be growing because there is a big shift in your identity that you've been moving through for months and months and months now. So yeah, you guys having Mars in your sign really helping to solidify and to like push and encourage this new identity that you really are creating. The archetype card that you guys pulled for the week is actually the hero/heroine card, and I absolutely love that. It really does feel like you're getting to the top of a mountain. It's been a long climb, Aries. It feels like Pluto in Aquarius being in your 11th house really has been shifting up the ways that you're seeing your potential for the future. It feels like technology is shifting. You're becoming maybe even more open to technology and more open to actually, you know, maybe looking into AI and things like that, and just like experiencing and trying things that you might have really had like an aversion to before. It feels like there's an openness that you're really in at the moment, Aries, and it's really powerful and it's really potent. This whole week ahead there's a lot between your second house and your third house, and it's just really about grounding your values into your daily life and your environment and where you are at the moment. It feels like, with this heroine card, a passion for a journey of personal empowerment. So I feel like this is a really passionate week. It's a week where you actually feel excited and motivated to bring in fresh energy. The third house and Gemini is mutable energy. It's changing. So there's a big change in how you're coming across, I think, to your peers and to the people that are around you, but it's a big change within yourself and wider society in general as well. There's a lot of shifts that Aries is going through, and I think that a lot of people are going to be kind of like looking at you going, what the hell is going on with Aries? Things look different over there. The shadow attribute is escapism and a false sense of heroism. So don't feel as though by ditching everything that you are, you know, becoming a hero. It's not really the time for you to run away from anything. You know, we have Neptune and we have Saturn in your 12th house. So there is definitely this energy of really needing to get your mental health in alignment. That's the thing with the third house as well, and all this Gemini. Thinking so much in your brain, so much going on in your mind, and it's definitely a time to not let things overwhelm you, not let your mental health and your mental processes actually overwhelm you. And it's really about listening. I think listening to your, you know, with this moon in the second house that's going to move, have its conjunction with Uranus this week, it's about really moving into a place where you can trust your own values and you can act on what you perceive as to be the right action, if you know what I mean. So I feel like with this South Node in the 7th house, and with Lilith that's going to be meeting there this week. Boom! That's really this energy of you like letting go of the people pleaser. Big time. And you wouldn't really think that an Aries could have people-pleasing energy, but an Aries can have people-pleasing energy. Whenever you have one side of the coin, there's the side of, like, you know, you can't, how do I say this? It's like a coin has two sides to it. You can't just pretend that there's not one side because you're looking at one side, if you know what I mean. So yes, you're an Aries, but your counterbalance is Libra. So, you know, whenever we're dealing with Aries, we're also dealing with Libra. And so there is this need to sort of find this balance between who you've been and who you're becoming. We also have, I didn't even mention this in the overall horoscope, but it's coming up for your little reading, is this Lilith opposing Neptune, which once again brings up this mental health stuff. Could definitely be stuff with the head getting really intensified, especially when it comes to anxiety and overthinking. Aries, if you're having migraines and you're having head issues, you are overthinking. You are way too in your mind, and that's with all this Mercury and Gemini. I keep saying Mercury and Gemini, but all this energy in Gemini, and Mercury is in Gemini anyway. But all of this energy in the third house is just really giving me like this energy of just so much going on in the mind, so much going on in your head, that it's really important for you to ground and to breathe as much as possible. I said that in the overall horoscope, but Gemini rules the lungs, so it is about being able to breathe. If you were into yoga, be doing your yoga, you know, just especially with all this in the first, you know, and we're going to be having Mars having a semi-sextile to Neptune between your 12th house and between your first house. So it really is about you giving yourself a break, I think, too, and not needing everything to happen all at once. There's definitely some breakthrough energy that I'm feeling for you, especially with this Venus Cazimi in the third house. It feels like maybe there's a breakthrough in your environment and the way that where you are. Maybe you're cleaning out the house. It's like, you know, it's spring cleaning, or you're cleaning out the car or something, and the energy's just feeling really fresh and really, really nice. You are also going to have Venus, as she moves over the sun, though, she's going to start squaring with Saturn, and that's definitely going to be bringing up you between the 3rd and the 12th house. Once again, the environment is being really conducive to how it is that you're feeling. So if the house is a complete and utter mess, if you are hanging out with people that are over the top and that feel toxic, you're going to feel the same way. So it's really just about discerning this energy, really. It's discerning about what feels right, where it feels right for you to actually be, and your attitude about where you're going. The card that you have is Ancestor. I mean, the animal card guidance you have is Ancestor with the polar bear. So ancestral stuff, and that's very Pisces 12th house energy. So Mars making his semi-sextile to Neptune could definitely be bringing up this ancestor kind of vibe, especially as the moon moves towards Gemini. She will make a perfect exact sextile to Neptune. So that's a really, really good opportunity for you to be connecting with your ancestors. When it's 3rd house, this could be automatic writing, you know, writing. Maybe we did actually, oh, it's gone now, but you did actually have the card of news come out. So it could even be that maybe you guys get some news about your ancestry, or you learn something about maybe your heritage, and that actually really sparks this sense of identity and knowing who you are. Maybe you find out that you're actually, you know, maybe you find out that you're Inuit and you had no idea. It's like, holy crap, I'm from the pole, like North Pole, South Pole. I don't actually know. I think Inuits are actually Canadian, so I totally got that wrong, but you know, you might just find out that you are from somewhere that you did not expect, and it's like, holy hell. We also have authenticity with the wolf, so that is very much this energy between the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. This is really about you being you, you know, you really shining as the beautiful light beam that you are. You're an Aries, so it's really about you standing in this powerful, authentic Aryan essence and this Aryan nature. You can't be budged, you know, by anyone. You will always go in your own path, in your own direction, and to be like really okay with that, because having Chiron in the first house and Chiron in your sign, and having Mars last week, before you're watching this reading, having made his conjunction with Chiron, there's probably a lot that came up around your identity and who you are and the healing of that. And so it feels like it's a really potent and powerful, really beautiful time for you, actually, because there's also a new moon that's going to be happening in your third house. And so you've just had, you know, that full moon in your ninth. So there's a big lesson that you're moving through at the moment about facts, thoughts, and beliefs, and whether you can really do your research. Like I said to everyone with all this Gemini, like, research is really, really important. So you having had that full moon in Sag in your ninth house, and now having this new moon planting new seeds in your third house, is about, okay, well, there was obviously some sort of big realization that's come up around your beliefs in the past few weeks. And so now it's about planting new seeds, about creating new pathways for you to sort of start going down. And I feel like there's a lot of like research energy that's coming in. It's not so much about like spirituality or religion, I think, so much as you just like starting to get really curious about the world around you in a different way than you've been in a long time. It's almost like your inner child getting like excited again about something as simple as like, oh, that's new computer games out, I'm just gonna start being a computer nerd again, you know what I mean? We have the Four of Cups coming out as your card, with the Page of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So I love this. I love this card because it's Men in Black. So, you know, it's essentially, Aries, you are someone who is well aware that a lot of people have their eyes closed. I feel like, Aries, you have your eyes, you got your shades on while everyone else's eyes are closed. So you kind of have this like extra sensory knowing, I feel like, at the moment, about like just what's going down in the world. And that sounds really strange, but I think with you having like Neptune in the 12th and Saturn in the 12th, this is you just having this like unconscious awareness of like where society is like slowly heading. And it feels as though, you know, we got the King of Coins coming out and the Ace of Swords as well. So it's about you really being able to trust in your ideas to actually make and build something of value, and that your ideas are actually very, very valuable, and you actually have a lot more resources than you've even realized, because Uranus being in the second house is like, it's tough because it's Taurus already, and then it's in the second house. So it's like, oh shit, I don't know if I have enough money, I don't know if I have what I need to do this. The truth is that you do. This moon conjunction is going to show you that you do. And then Venus and Mars, I mean Venus and Sun Cazimi, is going to really be amplifying your values into really opening up and expanding into something a lot more exciting, but also something that feels very doable, very close to you with the third house. You know, it's like you're going to the library and you're opening up, you're just exploring a new section. It's not that you need to know everything anymore. I feel like that full moon sort of showed you that the more you like look out towards everything, the more overwhelmed and confusing it gets. If you actually tone things down and go within, and you actually slow things down and look to where you already are and look to your environment and what you can build and create in your environment, you're going to really see the big blessings and opportunities that are coming in for you all year, you know? Jupiter is going to be in your third house for the rest of the year, and it's basically going to be really amplifying your attitude and making you feel, I think, a lot more positive and a lot more excitable and just more curious and open-minded and open-hearted and all that stuff. So that is what I have for you, Aries. Make sure you also listen to your channeled song, because you do have a channeled song for the week. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Oh, well, go check out the rest of your shit now. Peace.